Okay, let's talk about it. Learning Spanish in middle school. It can be a real challenge, right? For students and for parents. If you've ever felt kind of lost in the whole process, you are definitely not alone. But don't worry, we've got a playbook straight from the experts that's designed to turn that struggle into real success. So let's just dive right in.
First things first. Let's just call it what it is. Learning a new language, especially in middle school, can feel so overwhelming. You've got new grammar rules, pronunciation that feels impossible, and that fear of making a mistake in front of everyone. It's a lot. Parents, you're seeing the frustration boil over at the kitchen table. And students, you're feeling it right there in the classroom. But what if I told you there's a simple, structured way to tackle this?
Well, according to the experts, this is the secret sauce. Success isn't about being some kind of natural-born language genius. Nope, it's a trifecta. It's about three specific things working together. Think of it like a roadmap. And today, we're going to walk through that map together step by step so you know exactly what it takes to not just survive, but actually thrive.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll cover our roadmap for success by breaking down those three pillars for students: getting the right tools, developing the right mindset, and then seeing the big picture. And we'll wrap up with a playbook just for parents. Because your support in all this, it's a total game changer.
All right, let's jump into Pillar 1, the right tools. This is all about building that foundation for readiness. It's about what you need to have in place before the deep learning can really take root. This is ground zero.
So what does being ready actually look like? Well, it's pretty simple, really. It's the small stuff that makes a huge difference. We're talking logistical preparedness, like just having a dedicated notebook and a pen with you every single day. Then there's academic discipline, actually doing the homework, especially the practice stuff, because language is like a muscle, right? You got to work it out. And maybe the most important piece, the best effort rule. It's all about focusing on growth, not being perfect.
And this idea of brave effort is so key. It's about being brave enough to just try, to put something out there, a sentence, an answer, whatever, even when you're sure it's not perfect. And why is that so important? Because that's how your teacher can see exactly where you need help. It gives them the roadmap to give you feedback that actually helps you grow.
Okay, so once you've got the tools, it's time for Pillar 2, the right mindset. This one is all about developing that social-emotional core. See, it's not just about what's in your backpack, it's about what's going on in your head and how you show up in the classroom.
And these skills are super practical. Think about it. Impulse control and active listening. That's not just don't talk when the teacher's talking. It's about whole body listening, really tuning in to catch those tiny, important details. Then you've got resilience and risk-taking. That just means having the guts to make mistakes, knowing it's part of the process. And finally, collaborative respect. That's about being patient with your classmates, creating a vibe where everyone feels safe to try and to mess up.
I want you to really let this next one sink in. Errors are the primary evidence of learning. Read that again. They are not signs of failure. They are proof that you're trying, that you're pushing yourself, that your brain is working hard. Every single mistake is like a little breadcrumb on the trail to getting better. It's literally the best clue your teacher has to help you.
All right, that brings us to our third and final pillar for students, and this one is huge. It's called the big picture. This is all about adopting a world readiness mindset. This is where we connect the dots, from verb charts and vocabulary lists to becoming a true global citizen.
This is really about a massive perspective shift. It's about going beyond just memorizing words. It's about communication and culture, asking why things are said a certain way. It's about functional collaboration and realizing that being multilingual is a legit 21st century superpower. And it's about finding those connections and comparisons between Spanish and your own life. When you start seeing Spanish not as a subject, but as a key to unlocking the world, your motivation is going to skyrocket.
Because at the end of the day, this is the truth of it. Spanish is a living, breathing global bridge. You're not just learning vocabulary for a quiz. You are literally building a bridge, a connection to millions of other human beings, to incredible cultures, and to a much bigger world. It's not just a class, it's a connector. Okay, parents, listen up. This next part is just for you. We've talked a lot about what students can do, but their success is a team sport, and your role on that team is unbelievably important. So here's a simple, totally doable playbook for creating an environment of success at home. And it's not complicated, I promise. Step 1, check the kit. Just do a quick backpack audit once a week. Do that have their notebook, pens? That simple check-in can get rid of so much stress.
Step 2. Validate the struggle. When they're frustrated, don't just ask about the grade. Acknowledge that it's hard and praise them for the process, for the practice. And step 3, my favorite. Celebrate the culture. Find a cool restaurant, put on some music, watch a movie together. Show them Spanish is alive and fun, not just a page in a textbook.
And here is maybe the most powerful tool you have in your entire toolkit. When your child is frustrated and says, "I can't do this," remind them of this one simple fact. Their brain is literally growing. That feeling of struggle, of confusion, that's not them failing. That is the physical sensation of their brain building new pathways. It's the feeling of getting smarter. How cool is that?
Which really brings us to the heart of it all. Success in anything, but especially in learning a language, is a partnership. It's a three-legged stool. You need the student, the teacher, and the family all working together. When the student shows up with that brave effort, the teacher guides them, and the family provides that support system at home, well, success isn't just a possibility anymore. It becomes almost inevitable.
So, let's end with this question. Because learning Spanish isn't really about passing a test, is it? It's about handing your child a passport to a bigger, more connected world. By using this playbook, you're not just helping them get a good grade, you're helping them become a global citizen. So, the only question left is, how will you help them on that journey?